When I first came in there, my goal was to not tackle him onto Stu. I went in, I looked, I assessed, and I said, I have to pull him away from Stu. So that's why I went to the outside and got under an armpit and tried to throw him off to the side.
Hopefully one day I can meet Syko Stu and shake his hand and have a man-to-man with him and stuff like that. But who knows? But y'all, the people that know me, y'all know me. Y'all know I got mad love for everybody.
He's trying to like kill the guy, and like it's just sad. Like I don't understand what happened. Like it's hard to explain what happened, and it looks bad for us too. You know what I mean? Like anybody could do that. Like I can go in the ring in WWE and do that. Like why do you do that? No. Like you're supposed to have a trust. I mean, that's a different sport. It's a pro wrestling. You know.
Stuart Smith is taking legal action against Roger Jackson, describing the incident as an unprovoked and unacceptable assault. He announced on X that he has officially filed a lawsuit, emphasizing that what happened was brutal and cannot be overlooked. Smith stated that this case is about seeking justice, ensuring accountability, and preventing similar incidents in the future. Meanwhile, the pro wrestler who intervened to stop Roger Jackson's actions has finally spoken out, sharing his perspective on what transpired inside the ring. On a related note, Rampage Jackson revealed that his son attended a wrestling event with his coach when an unknown wrestler unexpectedly struck him on the head with a can or bottle. Despite the provocation, Roger remained calm and didn't retaliate, following his father's advice not to respond in such situations. Rampage expressed his frustration over the incident and questioned whether his son was just playing along for the show. He labeled the other wrestler's behavior as foolish and mentioned that he had to consult Roger's coach to avoid escalating the situation.
This is what happened, Chad. He went to a pro wrestling event with his coach. Those pro wrestlers, they be just as crazy as MMA guys, right? The pro wrestling guy don't know my son, and he hit him over the head with like a can or beer can or a bottle or something. And my son didn't know it didn't know it was coming. They didn't tell my son. And he hit my son over the head. I guess he thought my son was a pro wrestler or something. And Roger didn't react, but Roger didn't fight though. He didn't do anything, cause I told Roger not to get punched, but still nigga hit my son over the head. And then he asked my son, you ain't gonna sell it when you in pro wrestling? So this motherfucker that hit my son is stupid. So in order for me not to go to fucking jail, I gotta talk to his coach.
Additionally, Auden Ross voiced strong condemnation of the incident, describing it as both disgusting and deeply troubling. He emphasized the urgent need for the platform to make immediate improvements, insisting that policy reforms are essential. Ross also called for accountability, urging that specific staff members and moderators be held responsible for allowing such an event to occur.
There's no words, bro. There's absolutely no fucking words. At all, bro. At all. It's disgusting. It's just disturbing, disgusting. And Kick as a whole needs to do better, bro. Straight up, bro. Straight up. I'll just tell you guys this. I think that there needs to be some type of policy change. Some certain Kick staff need to be held accountable, moderation need to be held accountable, and there needs to be change immediately.
The wrestler who stepped in to stop Roger also revealed that he had to get stitches as a result of the incident. His primary aim was to keep the aggressor away from Stuart Smith. To do this, he approached from the side, slipped under the man's armpit, and attempted to throw him aside. He explained that the attacker then tried a double-leg takedown, likely aiming to control him and possibly slam him on his head, similar to what he did to Stu. The wrestler said he was able to secure underhooks, maintain control, and used his weight to push the attacker into the corner, effectively calming the situation. Despite everything, he holds no ill will and continues to have respect.
Yeah, I got stitches right here. What happened was when I first came in there, my goal was to not tackle him onto Stu. I went in, I looked, I assessed, and I said, I have to pull him away from Stu. So that's why I went to the outside and got under an armpit and tried to throw him off to the side. And when I did that, you know, if you look at the video, you could see him shoot for a double leg on me and try to take me down. He was working the whole time to try to get an advantage, get my legs, dump me on my head so he could do the same thing to me that he did to Stu. Or at least, you know, attempt to, because I would have been awake. But that's what was happening. And then as I got some underhooks set in and I kind of held him up, I was working a position and I was like, I'm going to roll this guy to the corner. As I started backing him up and using my weight to push him into the corner.
Rampage Jackson mentioned that he'd like the chance to meet Syko Stu in person, greet him properly, and talk with him directly. He also emphasized that people who know him realize he doesn't hold grudges. His attitude is based on respect and goodwill toward others.
Hopefully one day I can meet Syko Stu and shake his hand and have a man-to-man with him and stuff like that. But who knows? But y'all, the people that know me, y'all know me. Y'all know I got mad love for everybody.
Dylan Dennis commented that the incident was hard to watch and suggested Raja may have been acting out of anger, given the way he threw his opponent. He pointed out that professional wrestling relies on mutual trust. Each performer is expected to look out for the other when executing moves. According to Dennis, the slam crossed the line, coming across as reckless and potentially harmful rather than part of the show. He went on to say that behavior like this hurts the reputation of wrestling, which is supposed to center on safety and protecting fellow athletes.
To be honest, it's hard to watch, but you know, in a way, it's like he might have something like wrong, like maybe like anger problems, because like why would he do that, you know? And anybody that is trained or anybody has a brain knows when someone's working or someone's like, and like that would be like me going with you right now and you're like, oh, I'm gonna pick you up and we're working, we're doing a WWE match. Like you could slam me in my head, like I'm giving you my weight, you know what I mean? So like the guy obviously let him pick him up, and then slamming him like that is ridiculous. First off, especially being a guy that's trained. I know he's only 0-1, but like slamming the guy like that first off is ridiculous. Like any person in WWE can do that to each other. You know, it doesn't. That's not anything like people are adding like, oh, that's Rampage Jr. or something like that. Like the guy jumped up for you to carry his weight, and he's trusting you to take care of his body. You know what I mean? And then he's throwing those shots, and like I get you can kind of lay one in, like you know what I mean? I can hit you like that, but not even. But the first one was like a fucking haymaker. He's trying to like kill the guy, and like it's just sad. Like I don't understand what happened. Like it's hard to explain what happened, and it looks bad for us too. You know what I mean? Like anybody could do that. Like I can go in the ring in WWE and do that. Like why I do that? No. Like you're supposed to have a trust. I mean, that's a different sport. It's a pro wrestling.
Streamer XQC reacted strongly, describing the move as something that could have been deadly. He noted that similar situations in street fights have led to fatalities from much less force, calling the act extreme and unacceptable. He stressed that what happened went beyond normal boundaries.
You wouldn't convince me this is not attempted murder. That is how you kill somebody. We've seen people die in street fights all the time with things that weren't even that bad. This is outrageous, and it doesn't stop.
Brendan Schaub admitted that his first reaction was to side with Raja because of his close friendship with Rampage. However, after reviewing the full stream and all available footage, he acknowledged there was no way to justify what happened. He stressed the seriousness of the situation, noting it could have lasting consequences for Raja's career and reputation. Schaub explained that if the wrestler decides not to pursue legal action, Raja will still face significant online criticism but may avoid prison. Conversely, if legal charges are filed, he could be dealing with major accusations such as attempted murder or aggravated assault, outcomes that would make his circumstances far more severe.
And I'll be transparent, I like Raja, and obviously I adore Rampage. Me and Rampage have a great relationship. I love Rampage. And it's just by nature, my initial thought was when I heard about this, and I spoke with Rampage, when I heard about this, I went, all right, how can I defend Raja? I look at all the videos, I watched the full live stream and all that. I got nothing. I can't, you can't defend this. I see this, it's so sad. Because he was just getting started, and that all goes away. If this veteran pro wrestler decides to press charges, if that pro wrestler goes, this was a bit, or this was a work, and he just thought that's how it works, I'm not pressing charges, Raja's still gonna take a lot of heat online, but you're not doing jail time. Then we can figure it out. But if that dude wakes up and somebody's in his ear and goes, dude, you gotta make this dude pay. He has to learn a lesson and he presses charges, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough. Attempted murder, aggravated assault, it's gonna be tough. Talking about felony. You know?
Matt Brown argued that if Raja weren't the son of Rampage Jackson, there would be no leniency shown toward him. He suggested the only reason some are more forgiving is out of respect for Rampage himself. Brown emphasized that the footage speaks for itself, showing the wrestler being slammed and hit repeatedly without an opportunity to defend. He described the act as unmistakably criminal, possibly aggravated assault or even more serious, and added that Raja is fortunate the victim escaped with only the injuries that were reported.
You know, if this was anybody other than Rampage Jackson's son, I don't think there'd be any empathy here at all, but we all love Rampage and he's the man, you know, and the fact that he's his son, we're all sitting here like, bro, what the fuck, you know, and what do we think about this? You know, if it was just anybody else in the world, it'd be like, bro, throw that motherfucker, you know, in the cage and throw the key away, man. And that's probably what's going to happen to him. Like, you know, you say they're investigating, like, well, there's not a lot to investigate. Like, there's a video that shows it pretty goddamn clear, you know, what we need to investigate here. So, you know, what's he going to get? You know, I don't know what like attempted murder is, but I mean, he was getting knocked out and punching the shit out of him. You know, I don't know how far they go in there or what the details are to get that charge. Aggravated assault, so for sure, battery, you know what I mean? Like, it's a felony for sure, right? I mean, there's I don't think there's any way out of that. So, you know, kind of just is what it is for him now. But like what a shitty move, man. You know, like, you want to fight the guy, fight the guy. Like, dude was like, you know, we watched the video right before the podcast here. You know, the dude was like preparing for a wrestling style a pro wrestling style takedown, and motherfucker slammed him on his head. Like, you know, dude's lucky that, you know, like you said, he's hospitalized, but man, he's lucky that that's all that happened. You know?
Brown added that although many people naturally want to stand by Rampage during this situation, accountability is still necessary and Raja must deal with the repercussions of what he did. He criticized the attack as needless and unfair, pointing out that the victim had no real chance to defend himself. Brown also expressed concern for the wrestler's well-being, especially given his personal history and previous struggles. He concluded that if anyone is in a position to ask for understanding, it's Rampage. But for everyone else, the focus should remain on recognizing how unacceptable the incident truly was.
Hopefully the guy's all right, man. That's about all you can say at the end of the day, right? Hopefully the guy just heals up and, you know, with some PTSD or being a veteran and everything, man, you know, just hope that the guy turns out okay, man. Send him some positive energy and hope for the best. That's about the most you can say about it. Other than that, you know, again, loving Rampage, but, you know, hopefully justice is done and his son gets what he deserves. I don't agree with Sean on that at all. You know, like, the dude doesn't, like, it'd be one thing, you know, if like they got in a fight and he fucked him up and, you know, hurt him bad, right? But like, the dude was defenseless and then knocked out. Like, fucking. And the only guy that should not be saying fuck him is Rampage, right? Because it's his son. And he's the one that should be saying that, you know, can we just give him some help or something, you know, try to stick up for him. But everybody else, I mean, we have no reason to have any sympathy for that kind of behavior.
The MMA guru offered a scathing reaction to Raja Jackson's actions, labeling him as out of control and suggesting he belonged in a cage. He was critical of the lack of intervention during the incident, arguing that someone should have stepped in immediately. In his view, the situation warranted Raja being knocked out in the ring on the spot.
Yeah, to bring that sparring partner back, tornado kick him again. Dumb animal. Brother, dumb animal, put him in a cage, straight up. Raja should have got knocked out cold in that ring. No one was doing anything about it but that pink.
Kevin Lee explained that although he holds respect for Rampage Jackson, he believes Rampage should hand his son over to the authorities and let him face the legal consequences of his actions. Lee noted that if it were his own child, he would expect no different, as such behavior cannot be overlooked. He emphasized that Raja is an adult and must accept responsibility, even if that means serving jail time. While Lee acknowledged that the wrestler initially hit Raja with a bottle, which he also condemned, he made it clear that this did not justify the excessive and violent response that followed.
And if it's Rampage, I love Rampage. But Rampage, turn your son in. He got to go lay down for a little bit. Like, if it was my son, that's what I would tell him. I mean, you a grown man, bro. You can't condone that type of behavior, bro. You gotta go lay down for a little bit. We'll get you a good lawyer. You ain't gonna be in there forever, but you gotta go lay down. I get it. He hit you in the head with a bottle beforehand. I get it. You shouldn't have did that. I don't condone that either.
Lee went on to condemn the way the assault took place, noting that Raja waited for hours before blindsiding the wrestler while he was performing, completely unaware of what was about to happen. He pointed to reports that the victim's heart had stopped and that he remained unconscious for several minutes, calling the situation extremely serious. Lee argued that Raj's behavior showed a lack of judgment and self-control, and he could not comprehend how anyone might find such violence acceptable. In his view, the only way for Raja to truly take responsibility and learn from the incident is by serving time in jail.
To wait hours until the man was working, which we all understand, he playing a character, and he was in character, and he's working, and then you sneak him, because that's what you did. I mean, you snuck him. He wasn't expecting that, and you, bro, they say dude flatlined and was unconscious for 6 minutes afterwards. Dog gotta go lay down. You gotta go to prison, bro. There's no part of that you thought was cool. Like, I can't even wrap my mind around why you thought that was cool and why you ain't got no self-control over your emotions.
Tim Welsh reacted strongly to the incident, admitting that the footage was difficult to watch because the victim appeared completely unconscious while the assault continued. He said it looked as though Raja Jackson's goal was to cause serious injury, or perhaps something even worse. Regardless of the intent, Welsh called the act outrageous and impossible to defend, emphasizing that consequences are necessary. He also pointed out the disturbing context of it happening live, with reports even suggesting that a reward had been offered for a knockout.
12, 13, like what the f? I can't even watch this. The kid's blacked out. The kid's blacked out, and I think his goal right there was to murder. Maybe not. Maybe not. Blacked out, maybe he doesn't know what he's doing, but he damn near killed the man. That's crazy. He's got to get some punishment for this. There's just going to be no excuse. He's going to probably go away for a long while, especially on stream. He's on stream and he said 50 subs for a KO.
Welsh later remarked that the outlook for Raja Jackson appears grim, even with Rampage's financial resources and connections to skilled attorneys. He warned that the case could very well be treated as attempted murder, highlighting how dangerous acts of excessive violence can be, especially for individuals prone to losing their temper. Welsh noted that while martial arts abilities can serve a purpose in genuine self-defense, striking someone who is already unconscious endangers their life. He described the incident as deeply troubling and cautioned that decisions like this often lead directly to prison time.
This isn't going to be good for old Raja. Rampage's got money. I mean, they're going to have some good lawyers. But it might be attempted murder. I mean, God, that's the thing. You got to be careful getting in street fights. If you can avoid street fights, avoid them. Especially if you got a temper tantrum. Maybe if you know a little jiu-jitsu and you get in a street fight here and there, it's okay. You can take care of yourself, get in a good position. But once you crack somebody and then you start seeing red and you're not thinking about what you're doing and you're punching them and they're already knocked out, good chance you're going to kill them. And you might be in the pen. So, I mean, that was f***ed up.
Derek Brunson initially assumed the incident was part of a wrestling storyline, but after learning the details, he realized it was a genuine and serious situation. He condemned Raja Jackson's actions as reckless and unnecessary, saying there was no place for that kind of behavior. Brunson voiced concern for the injured wrestler, wishing him a full recovery, while cautioning Raja that decisions like this bring severe consequences. He added that minor conflicts can easily escalate into major problems that cause lasting damage.
All right, follow me real quick. When I first saw this, I thought these guys were playing. You know, WWE hardcore match.
Oh, look at this. Fox has one. Oh! Disqualification, but please.
After doing my research, this was definitely real.
That's a oh!
Oh, you don't unavoidable?
He's not a fucking worker, bro.
Should never happen.
I apologize.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know. I thought you were a worker.
At the end of the day, I hope the wrestler that was hit and pummeled is okay. And for Raja, your actions were out of line, so you have to deal with some big boy consequences for this one. All of us can learn a little something from this. Don't let small situations escalate into bigger situations that will ultimately cost you big consequences.
Shiel Sonnen also weighed in, admitting he didn't yet have all the facts but warning that the situation would escalate if Syko Stu ended up with serious injuries such as a broken jaw or lost teeth. He noted that the authorities already possess clear video footage of the incident, but explained that the delay in action is likely due to them waiting on Syko Stu's official statement before proceeding further.
Now, I'm getting in front of this and I'm making these predictions without having news if Syko Stu is injured. If his jaw's broken, some teeth that are loose, all of a sudden you're having a very different conversation. But you have the police that are in possession of irrefutable evidence known as a video that an assault happened, and the police have not taken any action. And they won't take any action until a statement is made one way or the other by Syko Stu.
That wraps things up for today's video. What do you think about everything that happened? Drop your opinions down in the comments. And if you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more.